Hey guys, it's Nikki Whiting for those of you who do not know me. And I feel blessed to be asked to speak tonight for you guys. Odette and I have been speaking about your team and just everything that you guys have been up to lately. And I know that she's been putting together some really great trainings along with some other leaders on your team. And I feel honored to be here. So I wanted to speak to you guys today a little on the topic of leadership. I know leadership is the big thing that we're speaking about and talking about and trying to grow in that area, right? I think we're all always trying to grow in the area of leadership if we're being honest with ourselves and truly trying to move our business forward. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about what I feel like leadership looks like, maybe early on, and then as you continue to grow as a leader, and just kind of expectations that I have for myself as a leader, especially because I look to what other coaches have done, and they've kind of set that bar at a certain level, and I want to be the coach that I would want to have. And so tonight when I talk to you about leadership, I just want you to remember what kind of coach you would want to have. It doesn't mean the coach that you have or the coach that, so-and-so has and you wish you had. Not that sort of, I don't mean it that way. I mean, if you could take all of the best qualities of any of the coaches that maybe you follow and look up to in the business and could be that, who would you be if that was a combination and you were able to give that to your coaches? Because at the end of the day, we're striving to basically take what's already working, right? And we're working smarter and not necessarily harder. So I hope that you understand that leadership starts very early on. It starts right away, honestly. And I tell my new coaches that there is nothing better, in my opinion, than seeing a coach who is not even Emerald even, or maybe they just turned Emerald, or maybe they have 4 coaches or whatever, and they're hitting Success Club, and they're doing their thing behind the scenes, and they're popping into Beatnik and they're making themselves known right away. They're kind of taking on that leadership role without anyone having to tell them to. If I see somebody doing something that I feel like would be really beneficial for others to hear, then absolutely I'm going to say, hey, could you pop in and, share this or whatever. But my true excitement as a leader comes from seeing my new coaches take ownership in that. And there's something to be said about being active in your team page early on as well. I know when I look back to my first few months, first 2 years in the business as a coach, I was very, very active in my coach's upline page, in my upline coach's page, because I wanted people to, first of all, be able to use the information that I had. If I had something that was working, I wanted to be able to share that. But I also wanted people to see me as a leader. I wanted to be a leader. I wanted to be someone that they could come to with questions, and I would have the answers. And that means I had to educate myself. I didn't look to my upline to give me everything, although we have great uplines and support and trainings, thank goodness. But I wasn't depending on my coach to give me the answers and to answer all my questions. I was very much diving into the certain topics that I needed to on my own, because I knew that I was going to grow the most by getting outside of my comfort zone and doing something, finding something out on my own was going to allow it to stick with me longer. If someone was going and getting the information for me and giving it to me, I wasn't necessarily taking it in and understanding the information. Instead, I was getting it from someone easily and moving on, handing it to the next person, and then it was kind of like in one ear and out the other. So for me, and the way I actually learn is through kind of educating myself and finding the answers myself, and that comes through team pages and Google and FAQ and all those things. So make sure that you are kind of taking responsibility as a leader early on to find knowledge yourself, be in the team pages, sharing what works and what doesn't work, because you are going to be seen as a more valid coach, as a more respected coach, and as a respected leader naturally if you are able to show yourself and show the value you bring to the team early on. I remember when I came in as a coach, I would see certain coaches posting, Paige Casto and Stephanie Chico and Brandy Botts and Mindy Winder and all of these upline coaches. And I remember thinking, wow, they must be like an intricate part of this leadership page, because they're always popping in and always sharing what they have to say. And I respected them early on because of that. I respected them because they were helpful. I respected them because they were working their business and hustling and showing us what was possible. And I looked up to that in the business, and I wanted to be that as well. So if you think about coaches that you know and love, it may be because you see them often sharing what they know, or you like their social media because they're there and they're consistent, and you enjoy watching them and their life's journey and all that through coaching. So think about why the reasons are that you look up to certain coaches, and I would almost guarantee it's because they are seen, they are visible, and they are out there putting what they know and love in front of the team to help you guys. So definitely think of that. Leading by example is huge too. So I know we talked a little bit about that just now, but leading by example meaning you're the speed of your team. So, speed of the leader, speed of the packs type of thing. And so if you are not making it a point to hit Success Club, or you are not showing up consistently in the team pages, or you are not giving your coaches recognition when they do something good, you're not advancing in rank, or whatever it is that are these little kind of key points, the vital behaviors and the basic steps to growing as a coach. If those things are not shown by the leader, then it doesn't look like it needs to be a priority to your downline. So you can't sit there and complain and say, I really wish my team was doing A, B, and C. Man, why aren't they hitting Success Club? Why aren't they advancing in rank? Why aren't they growing their teams? Why aren't they focused on volume? Why don't they want to grow their team's volume? Well, if that's not a priority for you, and you haven't made it known that you are hustling just as hard or harder than they are, then there's really no sense of urgency to do any of those things as your downline. So you have to remember that duplication is going to happen, whether it's positive or negative. So you have to take that route. You have to decide what you're going to do, and you have to make it happen. I will never stop hustling for Success Club. I will never stop hustling for my next goals in the business and sharing my monthly goals and wanting to add 4 to 5 coaches a month to my team and all of these things that I set out to do. And I will always share those goals with my coaches, because I want them to know that 4 years in, I'm not sitting back and hoping that the team grows, because maybe you'll get away with coasting for a little bit of time, maybe. But soon that's going to catch up with you. The lack of work that you put in, the inconsistency, the no hustle and coasting attitude is going to then start to see and show in lower Success Club numbers, lower team volume, lower checks every week, lower positivity and team vibe and tribe and community. And so if you don't want those things, you need to stay consistent. Now, there are periods of hustle where we're hustling for certain ranks or goals or whatever, and then there's this periods of being just consistent and doing what you need to do. You need to be a product of the product all the time. If you're not sharing your journey, why in the world would new coach Nancy, whoever she is, sign up and think that she needs to share her journey to be successful? Because you don't share yours, why would she share hers? If you don't show up every single day on social media, and I don't mean posting just to post. I don't mean posting 5 times a day. I just mean thinking about your day and what did you do within that day that would bring one little bit of value to your followers, or something fun that you could share, or whatever it is that's kind of your niche and your market and what you decide that you're going to share on social media. But that needs to be done at least once or twice a day. You have to show up and you have to be consistent, or your downline is not going to be consistent. You have to be sharing what works and what doesn't work, and always running challenge groups. That's the other thing, you guys. Challenge groups are the backbone of this business. If you're not running challenge groups, first of all, where are you going to find really great coaches? Because really great coaches come from challenge groups. And second of all, how are you going to expect your downline to run challenge groups consistently if you don't do it either? Challenge groups are like the bread and the butter. They literally are the easiest thing to do, and they are the best thing to do for your business, because most important thing, because you're getting new customers in, you're building your income with HD orders, you're hitting Success Club because you're getting new customers in, you're finding great people getting great results who then are advocates for your groups and your products. And then you can talk to them so easily about coaching because they already understand it. They get it. They get the community. They get the group feel. They get the products that work. They love it already. So it's easy for them to transfer from customer to coach. But you have to be doing those things. And yes, it can be exhausting, right? I'll put it out there. Like, yeah, it does get exhausting. But at the end of the day, it's a job. Would you rather work at home and check into a challenge group every once in a while and get on a call with some of your good friends and family and hang out with them and learn the business? Or would you rather go and you sit in a cubicle from 9 to 5? You know, it's kind of like you got to pick and choose like what it is that you want. And some people love working outside of the home. And I don't want to ever say you shouldn't do that either, because if you love that, I think you need to do that. But if you're in this business to help people, then you still need to be doing those things. If you're in this business to help people and just supplement some income, maybe have something extra to pay some bills or savings or pay off debt or whatever it is that your thing is. Okay, because our whys are all different, right? But if you need that and you really want to be helping people, then you need to be running challenge groups, because they can get those products anywhere. But you're their coach. You're the one checking in within them, making sure they're doing that daily work, putting in that work. If you have coaches under you who want this, then you need to be there for them. Don't leave them hanging. You need to be there for them. It's important. It's important that you show up because you've created a downline that wants to show up. So make sure that you do that for them. The other thing is treating this business as a business. So it kind of goes hand in hand with everything that we've been talking about so far. Treating your business as a business from day one. And some people come to me and they say, oh, well, I don't have a team yet, so I don't really know what I can post. I can't talk about the coaching opportunity right now because I don't have a team myself, so how could I ever talk about the coaching opportunity? Or I don't have a big income right now, so how could I ever talk about the coaching opportunity because I haven't experienced that yet, type of thing. And you guys have to switch your thinking and your mentality. It has to change. And that starts with treating your business as a business from day one. And I remember really early on in my business, I was maybe like an emerald myself, and I was thinking, okay, when my coaches go emerald, what should I do? Like, what could I do? And I thought maybe I'll do some business cards or something for them. And then I was like, I don't know. That is going to be a bit of an investment. And I sat down with my husband, and he looked at me and he said, are you ever going to invest in your business? It's a business. You have to invest in a business for it to pay off. And I said, I know, I'm scared and I'm nervous, and what if it fails and all these things. And he said, you have to stop that mentality and you have to treat it like a business from day one. And you have to understand that if you want a 6-figure business, you have to treat it like a 6-figure business before it is a 6-figure business. Say that 5 times fast. And it just stuck with me. I thought, that's absolutely right. Why would I be downplaying my business because it's small right now when I see the vision with where it's going to go? So sharing I was able to pay my groceries this week with our paycheck, however you want to say that. To say I was able to pay off some debt or take our kids to Disney or whatever it is that you've used what, coaching has given you for your family or for your lifestyle or whatever it is, until you grow in that business. It's not saying, you don't need to say, I am a six-figure earner. Sometimes that's not even relatable to someone. The people who are following you are the people who are struggling, the people who need this, the people who need your help, the people who need to know that something as small as paying for some gas for their car in week 1 is doable. To know that in their first month, they could pay for their Shakeology or they could pay their groceries with this extra supplemental income. It's those little things that you always need to be sharing. Show that leadership early on. Show where your business is going, because that is where it's relatable. Always come back to those moments. Even if you've been in this business for 3 and 4 years and you have seen that big success, go back to the small moments, because that is what's so relatable. And that's what's going to be relatable to your new coaches. Don't ever kind of lose touch with why you started and that simplicity of it all. It's easy to find that if you look, you kind of bring yourself back to it. And it's also hard to, you've been in it for a few years and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I don't share near enough like my transformation or, these little things that we've been talking about. And that's because over time you just forget, or you think, oh, these people have already seen it, but that's not true. You have so many new followers and so many new coaches all the time that you do constantly need to be sharing those things over and over again. And that's going to show your team what needs to be duplicated. Now they need to be doing that as well. They need to be sharing that as well. So last thing, what you want more of in this business, you need to recognize. Okay? So if you want to add more coaches to your team, then you need to be sharing new coach announcements. You need to be sharing small successes that your coaches do. You need to be showing that this process can be duplicated and you are adding to your team. And if these people want to hop on board, they better hop on board, because we're going no matter if they're getting on the bus or if they're not getting on the bus. The other thing is, making sure that you are recognizing what you want as far as Coaches Hitting Success Club. If you want more Coaches Hitting Success Club, then talk about Success Club. If you want more Coaches Hitting Success Club, talk about running challenge groups together. Maybe bring it back to that feel of everybody doing it together, where you are kind of stepping in and saying, let's run this together. And, you get 3 people in, you join me and you help me run this group. All of a sudden that Coaches Hit Success Club, they're getting some confidence because now they're helping out with a challenge group. And you guys are building that relationship as well at the same time. If you want your team volume to grow, stop harping on team volume. Stop talking about it being lower or it's not where it needs to be or whatever, and instead celebrate when people get to certain points in their business. If somebody hit 200 volume for the week, do a 200 plus volume club and share those, shout those people out. If someone has a great week and has like 500 or 1,000 volume of their own, give them a shout out. If team growth is what you want to see, then share more about the positivity of team growth and who is hitting those numbers to show that this is possible, you guys. Look at some of the numbers that people are hitting all the time, and kind of give incentives for those things, and that really is, I know I was kind of all over the board with things that I was saying, but leadership is, kind of dabbling in all of these different things. And it can feel like a lot, and we can feel like our head's spinning and we don't have enough arms and legs to get everything done that we need to. But don't overcomplicate it. Show up every day. Be consistent. Share with people what works. Show your leadership in team pages. Recognize what you want to see more of. Treat your business as a business early on. And just lead by example, you guys. That's it. Lead by example. It doesn't have to be, don't make it harder than it is. And that's all I have for you guys tonight. I am sorry that I couldn't be on live. I really, really wanted to be, but I spoke with Odette, and we are getting ready to leave to go out of town for a family trip. You guys know how it is to pack up everybody when you have to pack for everyone, including your husband. So I appreciate you guys listening to this, and hopefully something stuck with you. And I look forward to seeing you put it into action and seeing you being more active in the team pages and consistent in your social media and all of those good things, and the recognition for your team. But you guys have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your leadership group and training. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.